Calls to the Scottish SPCA's animal helpline are on the increase.
Let's just check the wings anyway.
In this series of Animal 999, the charity is taking us behind the scenes to show how Scotland's abused and neglected pets, livestock and wildlife are saved from harm and danger.
Oh.
Coming up, a poorly osprey gives Alex a hard time.
You're not scared, are you?
Dog, stop, so send dog!
And the police dog branch is put through its paces. Ospreys are a magnificent sight in Scotland's skies. They are a fish-eating bird of prey. Although numbers are slowly increasing, they are still on the amber list of endangered species in this country and are a rarer sight than a golden eagle.
Oh, you're feisty.
A male has been brought into the Scottish SPCA's Wildlife Rescue Centre after being found on the ground in the Borders.
I don't think there's anything I can do to help just now, is there?
No.
He's weak, but he's still aggressive. So the centre's assistant manager Colin Liddle and wildlife assistant Alex Morris will have to be careful.
Where's your foot? Okay. Yeah, when you're handling all birds of prey, you really want control of the feet because that's what's going to hurt you the most.
I'm going to try and get the towel off.
Yep.
There we go. Ah, too slow.
He's definitely under par, so Alex examines him for any injuries.
So we're just checking over his wings. It's okay. Just feel down the bones for any breaks.
Do you want me to take hold of these legs for you?
That's okay.
Right there.
Usually there'll be large areas of swelling, or you can actually feel the break, kind of crunches. And right up into the shoulder.
One of the last years, do you think?
I don't know, maybe this year's.
Yeah.
He's maybe just fledged and struggled a bit. And that's why he's got so thin and can't fly.
Alex and Colin have weighed the osprey so they can track its progress back to health. These birds fly south for the winter, so the clock is really ticking to get him ready for the 4,000-mile journey to Africa.
What we've got to do now is we've got to get this guy eaten because we're almost on borrowed time. They're going to be looking to be flying back to the west of Africa within probably the next 2 to 4 weeks. If he responds well to the treatment that we give, then there's no reason why within a short period of time we can't get him out to an aviary. And when he's in the aviary, he's then able to use the perches, fly backwards and forwards and build his strength up, hopefully.
It's worrying because ospreys don't tend to do as well as other raptors in captivity. It is really hard to get them eating. Hopefully he'll be okay.
The osprey will be checked over by the vet. But for now, the best thing for him is some peace and quiet out in an aviary. We'll be back later to find out how he's doing. Animal Rescue Officer Connie O'Neill's had a tough day. Already she's had to deal with a sick hedgehog, several pigeons and an injured grey squirrel.
Stick it in this so it wriggles free.
She's got one more job to take care of before she finishes her shift.
Hiya.
A ferret's turned up in a woodshed.
He's awfully tame, or he's awfully tame.
All right, okay.
Because I was working my saw and it just came strolling past my feet.
Right.
And I thought, because I thought it was a rat or something at first. And then it just came up and let me pick it up. So I stuck it in a box with some water and filmed ourselves. But I've checked around a bit to see if it's like the gamekeepers or that. Nobody keeps ferrets about here.
Right, okay.
So.
Right, I'll have a look at that. Right, we'll just slide it off gently just to see what's... Okay, okay. Right, we've got a polecat ferret. It's eating on some crisps. It seems quite quiet.
No, it's been very docile. I was running the saw and it didn't spook it at all.
Right, so I've just put my hand on it and it's not reacted at all. So that tells me it's used to being handled. I'm just going to lift it. Oh, you want your biscuit. It's a boy, entire meal. You can smell that. You can smell the entire meal. Now, he's quite tense at the moment, but no, he's used to being handled. You can tell by, you see the way he just hangs there. He's used to being handled.
He seems friendly enough, but where did he come from? Who does he belong to? And is he healthy?
I would say that somebody's been catching rabbits with it locally and they've just let it go. It's just escaped them. So, but you can see it is so used to people. Has got a tick on its neck there. I'll need to take that out. I'll do that back at the centre. That's quite a full tick that's been on a while. You have to take them off in a certain way and it will be in a bit of pain with it, but you have to twist them off so you take the whole thing out. You don't want to leave the head of it in there. It could have a microchip.
It's a long shot, but if the ferret has been microchipped, then Connie will be able to trace his owner.
It's reading it now, but this doesn't appear to be anything. That means it's not found. That means he's not got a microchip. But somebody could still be looking for him.
Without a chip, the ferret will have to be taken to the Society's Animal Rescue Centre at Balerno. Any ticks will be removed, and he'll be put up for rehoming if no one claims him within 7 days.
Police for a dog! Stop, send the dog! Police for a dog! Stop, send the dog!
Dogs are an important part of policing. They're trained to track missing persons
Police for a dog!
and to sniff out drugs or explosives. They also help catch criminals. In the case of this exercise, quite literally. Every now and again, the Scottish SPCA are invited along by the police to check everything's okay with their dogs.
Morning, Andy.
Morning, Neil. How are you?
Good to see you.
Good stuff. Yep.
Come on in.
It's been about 2 years since Senior Inspector Andy Brown's last visit, and he's going to be shown around by Sergeant Neil McLean.
Right, Andy, this is the kennel block.
Uh-huh.
We've obviously got 4 kennels, and they all lead out onto a run outside.
Yeah.
And we've got the lever here that opens the back door, gives them access out into the run.
It's quite handy that. You no problems with that, that's okay, yeah?
It works fine, yeah, it's very good. And each kennel's got a wooden board to keep the dog off the concrete, if you like.
Mm-hmm. Just off the cold.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
what about, is there a bit for the water, just put a dish in?
Yes, basically there's just water bowls we put in. Yeah, they don't have an on tap, if you like. It's
no. And they've clean access out the back to the exercise area.
Exercise area out the back, that's right.
Yeah, that's fine. It's just the same as...
It's exactly the same.
Although the dogs live at home with their handlers, there's a couple of runs for them at the back of the kennels to help keep them exercised.
2 kennels for this run and 2 kennels for the other run.
Basically 2 on either side, yeah.
That's fine. Quite easy, kept clean with the...
It's dead simple with the slabs. We just power wash it after every dog's been in. We clean it straight afterwards. Infection control is something that we're pretty hot on, because obviously if we get one sick dog, we don't want all our dogs going down with the same thing.
That's right, yeah.
The dogs eat different types of food depending on their breed, and their weight is monitored closely to check for any problems.
We record their weights, Andy, on this sheet.
Right.
So the dog's name's on the top, and the month that it corresponds to is down the side, and the weights are written in. But it gives us a good indication as to whether there's any sudden weight loss or weight increase. And it's
just to highlight a problem, it might be if...
it's a good management tool.
Yeah, excellent.
Through.
So far, so good. Andy now has to see the animals to make sure they're as tip-top as the facilities.
Through. Deco horse.
Our young osprey, who arrived at Fishcross 10 days ago in an almost emaciated state, looks much better. A vet inspection confirmed that apart from being hungry, this bird is healthy. And it's not a he, it's a she.
Our osprey's doing really well. Last time you saw her, she'd just come in. She's a lot stronger than she was then, and she's eating really well, so we've moved her out to an aviary. I give her a fish. I usually sit it on the block up the back there. I've noticed she seems to eat more early afternoon than first thing in the morning, but she's clearing a whole fish a day, so she must be getting stronger.
Alex only has another 2 weeks to get the osprey fit enough to be able to migrate south to Africa for the winter.
If it's later on, we're obviously going to have to release her further down south. You essentially want somewhere where there's going to be access to fish, where she can hunt, so somewhere rivers, lochs, things like that, and maybe even where there's other ospreys in the area. I'm really positive about it. I really think she's got a really good chance of getting released and hopefully making her migration successfully.
Still to come, our stray ferret is itching for some TLC, and the fish-cross osprey awaits her fate.
Hopefully it'll be unstressful as possible. Hopefully she'll behave.
The ferret Connie O'Neill brought into Balerno last night is about to be given a health check.
We stray.
Yes. Just walked into a wood cutting shed and just took a crisp off the guy that was sitting there.
Yeah. Right, let's have a look.
Assistant manager Kenny's not taking any chances. He's wearing a thick gauntlet because ferrets can give you a nasty nip.
Right. Yeah, we've got a wee sort of stray ferret. There's a couple of ticks on there as well, which we'll remove in a wee second. A bit thin. Oh yeah, a wee nipper. It's a wee bit manky. So it's obviously been straying for a wee while. Right, what we'll do is I'll pop it back in, I'll get a tick remover, and we'll get those ticks off.
The ticks will suck the blood and they'll keep sucking it, and they'll become more and more, more will latch onto it. So it's not very healthy for it to be sucking on its blood, so it's important to get it off. It's not very comfortable for the ferret as well. So we need to get them off properly. You don't just pull them. If you pull them, the head will still keep burrowing in and still keep eating into the ferret. So really important. It's uncomfortable. It's getting agitated because of the ticks.
The ferret will be feeling much better now the ticks have been removed. Because it's in the countryside, Balerno deals with a lot of ferrets and has a special room for them. Our ferret will have 7 days to wait for his owner to claim him, and if that doesn't happen, then he'll be advertised for rehoming. The last time we dropped in on our osprey, she had 2 weeks to get strong enough to make her migration window to Africa. Now, there's just 1 week left. This is a crucial time in her rehab, and wildlife assistants Alex Morris and Lorraine Gow are having to keep a constant eye on the bird to make sure she remains healthy.
Hopefully it'll be as unstressful as possible. I've never caught this one up before, so hopefully she'll behave. Careful, darling. It's all right.
You don't want to stress them out too much that they're going to bash against the side of the walls and hurt themselves. Alex is just taking it really easy and approaching the bird quite slowly. And then the next point is to get the net over the osprey and then get a hold of the legs, because obviously the talons are the most dangerous part of the bird. So once she's got them, the feet under control, then she can bring the osprey out.
She's quite stressed. She was banging into the walls trying to get away, and I can hear her breathing quite heavily, so we'll do this as quickly as possible, I think. Okay.
The osprey is a lot stronger, but any setback now will mean it won't be able to fly south this year. If that happens, the bird will have to stay at Fishcross until next summer.
Oh. You're not scared, are you?
The osprey is much livelier than it was when it arrived, but Alex and Lorraine will still have to assess it from head to foot.
Ospreys actually have a reversible toe. It's something that other raptors don't have, and it means that they can grip the fish with 2 toes at the front and 2 at the back. Gives them a better grip.
The wings are in great condition. We don't want any plumage damage or anything like that, so It's just making sure everything's doing well.
A really tricky part of the health check is getting a proper look at the osprey's head, which can be dangerous.
Well, you can see by the way she's trying to bite, it's obviously, you know, she's very, very alert, you know, and this is why you've got to be careful that you don't get your fingers in the way. Just checking the eyes, everything's very bright. Looking really good, nice and clean, no discharge from the nostrils. Very feisty, really good lean condition, ready for flying, pure flight muscles. Is exactly what you want. So yes, she's passed her MOT, ready to go.
Okay, we put her back out to the aviary?
Yeah, let's go for it.
It's looking positive for the osprey. Let's hope the next time we see her, she's ready for release. Senior Inspector Andy Brown's at Inverness Police Dog HQ. The facilities are passed with flying colours. Now it's time to look at the dogs themselves.
He's looking well, he's bright and he's alert. You can see a lovely skin and coat, he's doing well.
Yeah, he's a good healthy dog. He's 7 now, he's 8 next birthday, so he'll be retiring.
Obviously you're about doing searches. Is there other training you give, specific training?
Basically, they get trained constantly. When the dog's over 6, they have to do 10 full training days per annum. That's per guidelines, but we do an awful lot more than that with them. I'm training with him every single day.
Yeah.
He's trained to find missing persons, you know, vulnerable people who are lost, maybe overdue hill walkers.
Right.
He's also trained to find property that's discarded, searching for criminals, searching for evidence at crime scenes.
Right. How do they go on the vehicle? Obviously, the way you come in and out there, he's quite happy and contented.
They generally love their vehicle. It's a second home for them.
Right.
In the morning when you take them out of the kennel at home, the first thing they run to is the back of the van. They want to go in the van. They love to work. All the training that we do now with the police dogs is reward-based. So if they're out finding somebody, they think they're finding their favourite toy. If they find anything at a crime scene, they're finding their toy. So they get that reward at the end of it. So they love to work because it's games, it's playing, it's fun, and they want to go in their van and they want to come to work. It's a really happy environment for them.
Today I've seen a very good setup. Kennels clean, dogs, very healthy dogs. These dogs have to be healthy. They've got a big area to cover up here. They travel for long distance of time in the back of these vans. These vans have got to be right too. It's a very good setup.
The dogs are tremendously important. Over the years they've saved many people's lives in search and rescue scenarios. Very valuable to the community. They provide excellent backup to the policing, general beat officers on the street. And for that reason as well, we have to keep them in prime condition and make sure they're always fit and ready to respond if they need it. And they love being out working and we love working with them.
Good boy. Good lad.
It's a big fat pass for the police. And even though Deco is coming to the end of his working life, there are plenty of others, like 2-year-old Nico, who are being trained to take over when he retires. Don't try this at home.
Stop struggling. Nico! Down! Stay.
Good boy. Good lad. Good boy.
Remember the ferret brought into the Animal Rescue Centre in Balerno? Sadly, an owner didn't come forward. So he'll stay here in the ferret centre until someone takes a shine to him and gives him a new home. It's been just over a month since our young female osprey arrived at Fishcross. She's been eating well, and it's time to let her go.
Ospreys are migratory birds and they usually migrate end of August, beginning of September. We've managed to get her turned around and in good condition for her to start making her migration. She's heading down to Africa for the winter sun.
Fish is the main source of food for ospreys, so they make their nests close to water. Fishcross Centre manager Colin Seddon and assistant Alex Morris have chosen a loch in the Borders to release this bird.
We're just going to take a wing measurement. I'm also going to weigh the bird as well and give it just a general health check.
Colin and Alex have teamed up with Tony Lightly from the Lothian and Borders Raptor Study Group. He's an expert in birds of prey and has been monitoring them in this part of Scotland for more than 20 years.
Make sure it's secure and then let its feet go. Lift it nice and clear.
Before it's set free, our osprey will be measured, weighed and ringed so Tony can keep a record of it.
Well, this is a tremendous area for to release the osprey because you've got a good river system here. You've got a loch which has got a lot of fish in the loch with different species. You've got pike, you've got perch, you've got trout. The loch itself is quite shallow at the sides, so it's quite easy to catch fish in this loch. Not only that, but it'll be joined in the next few days by other ospreys which are starting to migrate south now on their journey back to West Africa. So it'll be in good company within 1 or 2 days.
It's been a race against time to get the osprey ready, and now is the moment of truth for Alex. A quick look around at her new surroundings, and she's off.
Looks amazing, massive wingspan, looks really at home. It's what we do, it's what we aim for, and this is a perfect situation really.